Good morning, guys. It's 4:01 a.m. in the morning in Dhaka, and good morning. Today, we would like to discuss chapter 12.9. Before going to 12.9, guys, I want you to make sure you know a quadratic function like this one. Do you guys know this function? It's called completing square, right? So here, a is very important. When a is greater than 0, the curve is like this one. So we'll get minimum value. When a is less than 0, the curve is reverse. We'll get maximum value or maximum position, whatever it is. And guys, the point h comma k for this graph is minimum point, which is said as minima. And for this curve, h comma k is called maximum point. Or maxima. Okay, now I would like to discuss derivative, because it's calculus. Derivative is the boss and Newton is my uncle. The first thing, d dx of y, which is called the first derivative or first differentiation. So d dx of y value is 0, then it is said to be stationary point. It means that gradient must be 0. Suppose for this curve, when it passes through, if we zoom out this value, here 2 points x1 comma y1, I'm taking this point and I'm taking nearby this point like x2 comma y2. If we use limit, then here gradient must be 0, because there is no y difference. Y position difference. Okay, just remember this thing. For a stationary point, whether it is maxima or minima, the first derivative or first differentiation must be 0. So we get to know that d dx of y must be 0 for stationary point. Now the second derivative, it can be greater than 0, it can be less than 0. For greater than 0, it will be a minimum, and for less than 0, it will be a maximum. So remember this thing. This would be our formula. So guys, I can expect you understand all this formula. First thing first. Question number 1. Find the coordinates of the stationary points on each of the following curves and determine the nature of each of the stationary point. For number A, you can use completing square thing, or you can use calculus. First thing first, I'll show you two different methods for this one. As y is equal to x square minus 12x plus 8, right? For quadratic motion, we can write it down x minus 6 whole square minus 6 square plus 8 here. So we can say that x minus 6 whole square, there is minus 36 plus 8 for quadratic. X minus 6 whole square minus 36, so minus 28 here. Here I can write it down like 1 x minus 6 whole square plus minus 28. I can compare it like a x minus a whole square plus k. Since here a is equal to 1, which is greater than 0, so the curve should look like this one. So it must be a minima or minimum value, and the value is 6 comma minus 28. Yeah, it's a minimum and 6 comma 28. So this is a method of completing square. Excuse me guys, I'm not okay right now. Now with the help of calculus we can solve this same math. Number A, the given quadratic function has given as x square minus 12x plus 8. So the first derivative would be 2x minus 12. They asked us to calculate the stationary points. So for stationary point, the first derivative must be 0. First derivative means first differentiation or gradient. So here 2x is equal to 12, x is equal to 6. If x is equal to 6, we'll get y coordinate from here. So y would be 6 is square minus 12 times 6 plus 8. Okay, sorry guys, 36, 72 plus 8. It means that minus 36 plus 8, so it would be minus 28. So our stationary points, I mean point coordinates, would be 6 comma minus 28. Now we have to determine is it minimum or maximum. For this particular case we'll use second derivative. So the second derivative would be like 2 here, which is greater than 0, so it's a minimum value. We can call it minima. In university we'll call it minima. Yeah, the result is correct here. So guys, if there is no method mentioned in the question, you can use completing square because that is perfectly easy. But if they asked us to calculate the stationary points and the minima or maxima, we should use like calculus, because calculus is much more easier for some of the students. So that's it. Question number 2, I mean B. So 5 times minus 5x plus x minus x square. So minus x square minus 4x plus 5. It must be a maxima. By seeing this question, I can say it's a maxima because the coefficient of x square is negative. So it's a maxima. So minus 2x minus 4. Now for stationary point, ddx of y would be 0. So x would be minus 2. Yeah, x is minus 2. For y, we'll use the first equation here. Minus 2 square minus 4 minus 2 plus 5. So minus 4 plus 8 plus 5. So it's 9. So the stationary point coordinates is minus 2 comma 9. For determining it's a maxima or maximum value, we have to use the second derivative. So like this thing, minus 2, which is less than 0. It's a maximum. Yeah, the answer is correct. Question number C. It asked us to calculate the stationary points and determine its a maximum or minima. Let's see. It's a cubic function. A very good one, I guess. The first derivative of this function would be 3x square minus 12. For a stationary point, it would become 0. It means 3x square would be 12. So x square would be 4. So x square. So it will have two value. So it will become plus minus 2. So x is equal to positive 2 and x is equal to negative 2. So we'll have corresponding two y values as well from this equation. If I input positive 2, first one would be 8 minus 24 plus 2 minus 14. So the first point would be 2 comma minus 14, and second point would be, if I input negative 2, it will become y is equal to negative 8 plus 24 plus 2, so 26, right? 18. So negative 2 comma 18. So we can now we can judge these things. Now here is a 2 points, right? So if we plot this in graph, see 2 comma minus 14, 2 comma minus 14. If we plot this curve, 2 comma minus 14, 2 comma minus 14 here, and that is minus 2 comma 18 here. So it will become a maxima and it will become a minima. Okay, sorry. Now mathematically, it will become like a 6x. Okay, so we have to determine whether 6x would be positive or negative, right? For this particular case, if we use this graphical method, it would make us much more comfortable, right? For like, we know the x value. If we input like a positive 2 here, it will become 12. If we input a positive 2 here, 6 times 2, it will become 12. 12 is greater than 0, so it's a minima. Definitely it's a minima for this curve actually. And if we input negative 2, it will become negative 12, which is less than 0, like this point. It must be a maxima at this point, and this is this point. Yeah, so we can say that minus 2 comma 18 is maxima, minus 2 comma 18 maxima, yeah, and 2 comma minus 14 minima. Yeah, answer matched. Question D. So y equal to x cube plus x square minus 16x minus 16. The first derivative, 3x square plus 2x minus 16. For stationary point, it would become a 0. So 3x square plus 8 of x minus 6 of x, yes. 16 times 0, so 3x is common, x minus 2 here, plus 8 is common, x minus 2 here, x minus 2 and 3x plus 8 here. So x is become 2 and x is become minus 8 over 3. For this true value, we'll have two corresponding y value from the very first equation. When x is equal to 2, so 8 plus 4 minus 32 minus 16, my goodness, 36. So 2 comma 36 is first point. If we input x is equal to minus 8 by 3, our y would be, I'm seeing the result actually, (14/22 by 27). Yeah, it would become like this one. Now this point would be x comma y is minus 8/3 and 14/22/27. We have to determine this point, and previously we got 2 comma minus 36. Yeah, 2 comma minus 36, these 2 points. First thing first, so I can predict by graph. So here x is positive and 36 is negative, so it's a minimum and it's a maximum. Yeah, now the second derivative of the equation. Okay, (6x plus 2). We have to input x value 2 here. From this 2, it will become 14, which is greater than 0, so it's a minimum. If we input x is equal to minus 8 by 3 d square y dx square, it would become minus 8 by 3. How could I calculate? It's stupidity. 3 is 6 minus 16 plus 2 minus 14, which is less than 0, so it's a maximum. Yeah, I don't even know where is my calculator. Guys, I do not have any calculator. I use my Android phone as my calculator. Today my iPhone launched. Let me purchase this thing. We are waiting. Okay, now the number e. Y is equal to 3x minus 4x square minus x cube. Good. Guys, last question will get 2 stationary points at number question D. So 3, 8x 3x square. Okay, 3 minus 8x minus 3x square. Is it really? My goodness. Didn't I do any mistake? 336. How could I make it 8? So annoying. It says that for number E we'll get 3 and 1 by 3. I have to use quadratic. X would be minus 8 plus minus square root 64 minus it would become plus 433. So minus 8 plus minus that is 600. I mean it matched actually. Minus 8 plus 10 divided by 6 gets a minus. So if I take positive it's so 2 by 6 1 by 3, and again x if I take negative 10 18 minus 3. Yeah. Corresponding y value when x is equal to negative 3, y is equal to negative 18. Guys, you can calculate. When x is equal to, so minus 3 comma minus 18. When x is equal to 1/3, y would be 14 by 27. So 1/3 14 by 27. I'm too lazy. Now we have to calculate this fact actually. So it will become a minima, it will become a maxima. Yeah, minima and maxima. How should we prove this? Doing second differentiation. The second differentiation would be minus 8 minus 6x. If we input x is equal to negative 3, it will become minus 8 plus 18. So 10 which is greater than 0. So minima. I have already write the answer here. Again, when x is equal to 1/3, it will become minus 8 minus 6 by 3 which is 2 minus 10 which is less than 0. So maxima. I have write it down. So these are the answers, guys. 12.9, very interesting one and very important one. The chapter is very important. So this is the thing. I'm a bit tired, guys. So I don't want to practice F here. You will do it. And thanks for joining with me. Happy learning.